had this conversation at least 30 times. Hey man, saw your YouTube videos. Oh, nice. Yeah, it'd be really nice if you liked and so. Yeah, so I just started running. Subscribed. Never mind. What kind of shoes should I buy? It's so hard to answer. At that point, I tell people that while I review running shoes, I'm not a physiotherapist or a podiatrist. My feet are probably different from their feet, and so what works for me probably doesn't work for them, so I don't know. And to that they say, okay, yeah, but if you had to recommend one pair of shoes, what would they be? And then I'm cornered. I have no choice but to pick one magical running shoe. So at that point, what do I recommend? Well, the one we're reviewing today, the ASICS GEL-Nimbus 26. See, I don't believe there's a shoe out there that absolutely everyone will love, but maybe the Nimbus is the closest thing to that. Because for as long as I can remember, it's been popular with beginners, casual runners, and even Olympians. But why? It's not that light of a shoe, it's not that quick of a shoe, it's kind of expensive. So what is it about the Nimbus that makes it so popular year after year after year? It only begins to make sense after you accept that the Nimbus is not just a running shoe, but kind of a cultural phenomenon. They love me. So ASICS launched the first version of the Nimbus back in 1999, which, according to Gen Zs everywhere, is like
forever ago.
Billie Eilish wasn't even born yet, the top movie at box office that year was The Matrix, and no one had Wi-Fi or smartphones yet. And meanwhile, ASICS was working on this big, cushioned, neutral shoe with a huge heel for max durability and support. They called it the Nimbus, after the big, massive rain cloud. And they probably didn't know it back then, but they had just created a brand of sneaker that would remain beloved for generations.
25 years into the future, I've always dreamed of seeing the future, looking beyond my years, seeing the progress of mankind.
Now, it evolved over the years. There was the Nimbus 6 and its weird, stretchy mesh panels surrounded by a network of thick pads. Then the Nimbus 9, whose court shoe style and visible gel pads are still proudly sported by lifestyle influencers and uncles everywhere. Then there was the Nimbus 15, with neon colors and a new midsole with huge gel pods. And then the 19 was the first with Flight Foam Tech, a lighter, well-cushioned foam profile. Then, in the last few years, ASICS gradually gave the Nimbus a sleeker, simpler look, and subtly increased the stack height from 31 millimeters all the way up to 45 to keep up with the maximalist shoe movement we're seeing these days.
Yo, that's big!
And now, we're left with the Nimbus 26, which has easily become one of the best-selling running shoes in the world. And undoubtedly, it's the best Nimbus to date. But what is it about it that's making people buy it by the thousands? Before we get into it, let's zoom in a little bit closer and look at the specs. Overall, the 26 is true to the Nimbus brand of bulky, comfortable, and durable. But rest assured that ASICS has also given it a 21st century makeover. The biggest updates are in the midsole, whose new gel platform and FF Blast foam allow for cushioned landings, but also responsive toe-offs, which is a tough combination to nail. The top also has a stretchy tongue and a ventilated upper that keeps the shoe lighter than its predecessors. And then inside is what ASICS calls an Ortholite X55 sock liner, which is a fancy way of saying that it'll keep you blister-free and chafe-free. The outer also has a few good specs, like reflective details and a grippy outsole rubber, which comes in handy in slippery terrain. And while the Nimbus is a sturdy sneaker, it's still considered a neutral shoe, as opposed to a stability shoe, which means it works best for people who don't overpronate, so rotate their feet inwards when they run, or supinate, which is the opposite, rotating your feet outwards when you run. For those people who might want stability shoes, again, check with your physiotherapist or your podiatrist, there's an almost equivalent to the Nimbus, which is the ASICS Gel-Nimbus, and that one's been out since 1993. It's older than I am. But back to this version right here. Why has it sold so well and been such a phenomenon in the last decade? You could say that Nike's faster, that On is trendier, that Hoka has more cushioning. So what is it about the Nimbus 26? Here's what I think. The fact that the Nimbus doesn't do anything overly well is actually its greatest strength. So hear me out. A lot of shoes over the years sacrificed their comfort and their durability to try to become the fastest shoe in the world. And others became minimalistic shoes when that movement passed in the 2010s and then lost a lot of their comfort and durability. But ASICS, they stuck to their guns with the Nimbus and kept it one of the most comfortable, one of the most reliable, one of the most durable shoes every year. And in the process, the Nimbus developed a cult-like following.
The old one has awakened!
And of course, when I'm racing, I want speed, style, lightness, and the Nimbus has none of those things. I would never race in this shoe, but it's great for training. It's durable and it lasts a long time. And there's a huge market for reliability. Don't believe me? What's the most sold car in the last 50 years? Toyota Corolla. Look it up. And that's the Nimbus, the most reliable running shoe since forever ago. And to all of you who were forcing me to make a definite recommendation, this is as close as it gets. You won't go wrong with this one. Okay, help me out. When I was researching this video, I was trying to find out the weight of the very first Nimbus, the Nimbus 1. Have you tried one on and know what it is? Let me know in the comments if so, and I promise I won't call you old, but the Gen Zs might.